Jason Arntz, IFBB Pro, owner of iPrevail Supplements.
Alex, please.
And as part of this 6-month regimen, we're going to go over Alex's current diet, and we're going to go over what I recommend he's going to do for the next 6 months in terms of the benefits of kind of recalculating and restructuring his calories here and incorporating different proteins, different carbohydrates into what I feel will help him acquire the look he's looking for and help him build more muscle at a more increased rate.
So I'll take you through a typical day of eating and what this day looks like for me. So meal one is pre-workout. I'll start with multigrain Cheerios and some Fairlife milk. Intra, I'll always use 2 scoops of iPrevail Rehab just to kind of keep my workout going and fueled correctly. Post-workout immediately, I'll do 2 scoops of whey, and then when I get home, a nice bowl of frosted mini wheats for my insulin sugar spike. Meal 3, which is usually an hour later, will be egg whites, turkey bacon, 2 slices of 647 bread, and my greens powder. Meal 4, 2 hours after that, will be 100 grams of jasmine rice and lean ground beef. I'll also have an apple as a snack in between meal 4 and meal 5. Meal 5 will be 000 yogurt with granola. I'll also have 3 slices of bread for my peanut butter and jelly, sugar-free jelly, of course. Low-fat peanut butter and a banana. And my last meal of the day will be another 100 grams of jasmine rice, 8 ounces of chicken breast, and my enlightened ice cream because who doesn't love sweets? So on a typical basis, I'm just over 4,000 calories with my carbs being at 609, fat at 80, and protein at 330. How I formulated this was normally the foods that I like to eat that digest easily for me and don't leave me bloated and feeling sluggish. My meals are timed around my workouts, and I'll usually do some form of cardio in the afternoon, evening time. And obviously I cater my meals around that as well. This 6-meal plan really leaves me ample time to get a good 8 hours of rest, which I appreciate, but I'm always willing to, kind of sacrifice and add a little bit more to gain some size. Say again?
Why do you do eggs and turkey bacon meal 3?
Because my post-workout meal is like what I eat exactly when I get home. That's the frosted mini wheats in the way.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But why is your first solid food meal really an egg white, turkey bacon meal?
I don't really have
any reason, or you just do it?
No, I'm hungry like an hour after I eat that post-workout meal, and that's when I eat the eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, what I like doing is your first solid food meal. And I agree with the post. You should get some whey isolate in you. That's a time we could do like a clustered dextrin or a cyclic dextrin carbohydrate with a banana. Or you could even just stick to an oatmeal with a banana, so you want some good sustained energy. But if the goal is to get glycogen right into the muscle cells, which probably will be, we could use like a cyclic dextrin during meal 2. I like doing a red meat meal as your first solid food meal post-workout. That's when your body still, those capillaries are still open up, they're craving it. By doing a lesser, easily digested meal, I mean, you're hungry, you want to get that stuff in you, so having a steak and a potato meal or a steak and a rice meal at that time, I think would suit you a little bit better.
Absolutely.
And then you could do the lighter foods later on at the end of the day when your body's trying to recover. It's easier on your digestive tract, easier on your digestive system. You have ground beef, you have.
That actually makes a lot of sense because what I'll kind of switch these out day to day.
Well, I'd like to give you the eggs at meal 6 before bed. It's light, it's easy to digest, it doesn't put a lot of blood in your stomach, you can rest easier. Having this shit, dude, it's heavy fats with carbs, with fruits, you got sugars. This is just yogurt, you got dairy in there, this is just fucking scattered. Okay. The diet's not horrible, it's just misplaced. You have foods and food sources in certain meals that don't necessarily belong, which is fine. It's fine for the off season, but you're going to see how calculated things get, and you're going to start to realize also, though, the closer we get to your show, how non-essential carbohydrates really are. They're great in the off season because you get a bulk of your calorie base from them, and it's not like these heavy meats that beat your fucking system up digesting. So it's easier on your system, which is great when you're training. You don't have to worry about digestive issues. But pre-competition, dude, that's when you're looking to maintain and put on lean muscle and grow. So that's why I want to really flip this. And your protein's gonna be closer to probably 450.
Great.
At least 1.5 grams per pound of lean body mass. Mm-hmm. So if you're at 270, another 3, so you have 4.
It's almost
430. Give or take. So in regard to what Alex is doing, he's on a high carbohydrate based diet, being 609 grams of carbohydrates a day. How much do you weigh?
270.
So you're talking about somebody who's almost 300 pounds in lean body weight. Alex does not, maintain a lot of body fat in the off season, so he's in a good position right now. He can handle that many carbs. His protein at 330, to me, that's a little bit on the lower end. His fats is around 80 grams of fat per day, which still could be viewed as being on the lower end also. So I'm not saying I agree or disagree with this diet. It's worked for Alex up until this part, but I do want to restructure this and flip around his calorie structure in forms of a higher protein-based diet, lower carbohydrate-based diet, and increase his fat slightly. Fats, of course, are coming from good natural sources, and also by increasing the lean meats in the protein sources, you're going to up the calories from the fats also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this thing up a little bit. I'm going to give you a basic diet of what Alex is going to be utilizing for a good portion of the next 6 months. We take things in increments, so based upon how we respond to the first part of this diet, we can either continue along the path or make adjustments along the way. But I'll chop this up and I'll give you a brief look at what he's going to be doing.
What'd you go to for veggies?
Do whatever you want. I mean, broccoli, string beans, mushrooms, peppers, whatever. Asparagus is fine. I wouldn't use too much asparagus in the off season. Just it has diuretic effects. You can save that for a show.
Yeah.
Just stick to stuff that's going to aid in digestion. Broccoli is actually the best, but it's gassy. It's gassy. It's tough to break up. So not counting the rehab, we're at 350 for carbs. So it's a significant drop in your carbohydrates. So you're closer to a little over a pound per pound of body weight, lean body weight for carbs, similar like you were in protein. So that's a complete fucking switch. All right, so what I did here is we totally restructured your diet. As you can see, just from your carbs, which are almost half of what you were taking in, protein we increased by almost 100 grams, fat we increased by only 20 grams. The thing is, you had some miscellaneous foods in there that really are not doing anything to help you put on muscle. It fills your calorie board, it keeps your body in a surplus of calories, but it's just because you're in a surplus of calories doesn't mean those calories are working for you. You know what I mean? The difference is here is the structure. Okay, it was just out of balance before. This is a much more balanced diet for what you want to do, and the timing of these nutrients is what's really crucial. You had stuff that was just scattered throughout the day with really no rhyme or reason to it, just because, hey, I'll get it all in one way or another. But for this, especially with the training in the morning, which I love, I'm a big, endorser of people who train early. It gives you the whole rest of the day to eat, get your meals in and recover. So your first meal, it's going to be a shake. So we have 70 grams of a whey isolate. It's pre-digested. It's light on your system. You don't want something heavy in your stomach before you train. The cup of oatmeal, you're going to blend it in the shaker cup with the whey isolate and a tablespoon of honey. Excuse me. The honey is more of a simple sugar, something to just kind of jumpstart your system, something that allows you to burn a little more rapidly than a slow digesting carbohydrate like oatmeal. When you wake up, you are in a state of hypoglycemia because your blood sugar is low from fasting overnight, so you do want some slow release carbohydrates in you that your body will break down during training so you don't tap into muscle storage or protein storage. That should suffice to cover your training needs. Your intro workout is the 2 scoops of rehab, which has the carb 10, which I'm a firm believer in. Probably one of the best, most efficient carbohydrates you could use during training with the aminos in there also. So you're in a good mix there. Meal 2, you want to get it right in you. Another 70 grams of whey isolate. Again, it's pre-digested, easy on the stomach. Gets right into your system, help you recover. 40 grams of clustered dextrin, which is a high glycemic index carbohydrate. It's a maltodextrin. It comes from corn. You could get a little bloating from it or hydrochloric acid release, but it will shuttle as glycogen to the cells. So I don't mind it post-workout. We added a banana in there just for a different source of carbohydrates at the time, a little slower digesting than the clustered dextrin, but it is a sugar. It's a natural sugar, but it will get in there also and help you recover. Meal 3, this is your first real solid food meal post-workout, so it's one of the most important ones. So a good solid protein source is red meat. That's high in creatine, high nutrient value. You want to eat a rare to medium rare. 10 ounces of steak, 2 cups of rice. It's a High glycemic index carbohydrate if you're using a white rice, unless you use a brown rice, which I'd rather use the white for now. We'll get into the slow digesting carbs as we get closer to your show. Get that right in you. 2 cups of rice, 80 grams of carbs there, 70 grams of protein from the steak, and your veggies. Veggie sources, you can mix them up. Broccoli, peas, mushrooms, peppers, onions, whatever you like to put on your steak, make it go down easier. Condiments, I don't care. Hot sauce, you want a little ketchup, mustard, whatever you need, no problem with that. Meal 4, another 10-ounce chicken meal, another high protein meal. We're going to be at almost 70 grams of protein per meal. You're a big guy, we're trying to put on muscle, so a substantial amount of your protein, amount of your calories should be coming from protein. It's just a better source of food that's going to help you in training, in recovery, in performance, etc., etc. 2 cups of rice again, get right into your system, keep those glycogen levels full. Veggies again there. Meal 5, we're going to 8 to 10 ounces of chicken or beef. Whatever one you want, doesn't make a difference. We're going to go to an 8-ounce potato just to mix things up a little bit, give you a different carb source. White potato is another high starchy carb. Sweet potato is a little more slow digesting release, so we'll switch to the sweet potatoes as we get closer to the show because I don't like insulin spikes when we're dieting. In the off season, I don't care as much. Veggies in that, we're going to add some good fats, a tablespoon of olive oil. You can either put it on your beef, on your chicken, on your potato, or if you like any other fats like macadamia nut oil, some avocado, you can compensate for the calories, whatever. I think it's 15 grams of fat for a tablespoon of olive oil. Meal 6, we're going to go to 10 egg whites. Light on your stomach, easy for your body to break up. 2 whole eggs, 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter, which will aid in breaking up the glycogen as energy storage. So it kind of slows down the release of your glycogen through the night so you don't wake up too flat. You have energy for your training, then you have your slow digesting carb meal as soon as you get up, and 3 slices of your 647 bread. It's your favorite bread. It's similar to an Ezekiel bread, but it's a decent source. I don't mind using it in the off season. But dude, this is your structure. You're close to about 4,000 calories to what you were before. So the calorie structure really isn't changing much, but your food sources are changing dramatically. So I'd be really interested to see the next 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, of how your body reacts, how you respond, and how you feel during training, post-training, recovery, sleeping, the whole 9.
Right.
This should really make a big difference of you, and I'm looking forward to seeing the progress. So today, Alex woke up at 263 pounds. It is March 31st, 2021. We're going to come back in 30 days. We're going to check his progress. We're going to see what this diet did for him. If there's any issues, we'll address them. If there's any concerns, we'll address them. And we'll check his progress along the way. But I have some high hopes for this.
Excited to get started, excited to get to work.
And don't forget, subscribe to Coalition Nutrition. Save the date for Alex's progress and all the videos to come along the way.